Hey guys, Nightingale back again to show you a couple more things, starting with the Island of the Beast, or any other path in the game.
To take the path, Alexander need only walk on it.
And we can also use an item on it. I don't think any of them have a different effect.
The path, like destiny, cannot be altered.
Alright, so let's mess around with the hedges themselves.
The magical hedges already have plenty of roses.
Let's see what other plants we got. Here we go.
What would the little creature be able to do with the magical hedges?
Eat them? Kinda looks like a herbivore.
Those hedges are a bit thorny for the tomato.
Yeah. I'll just cut my way through with a dagger.
The dagger isn't strong enough to cut through the magical hedges.
Oh, one other way to get through an obstacle.
Open, I say!
The roses seem impervious to Alexander's commands.
Well, naturally. Alright, so let's go somewhere else. Back at the Nightingale again, and I still haven't sent Cosima my ring, so she doesn't know I'm here.
Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the poem, in the chance that the receiver might be Cosima. The Nightingale swoops down, grabs the rose, and takes it towards the castle.
A love poem and now a rose. Sing, sing, I told you to stay away from the wazir. He's as likely to give you arsenic as these unwanted tokens.
The little bird returns to her branch without the rose.
And I can still send her the ring, and she will completely have forgotten about the earlier gifts. Classic. So let's move on to somewhere else. We're here before having made up any of the magic spells. Let's trade in the lamp.
Excuse me, peddler, but I have an old lamp that might interest you.
Ah, an old lamp. And what a nice traditional design, too. Take your pick of my new lamps.
Alright, nothing really different, but let's see what he's got to offer.
One of the lamp seller's lamps is squat and red with a corked top. One of the lamp seller's lamps is a small green metal lamp. The handles on either side of the lamp remind Alexander of a sugar bowl. One of the lamp seller's lamps is long and narrow. It's open at either end like a lantern and is made of flowered blue paper. One of the lamp seller's lamps looks quite similar to Alexander's hunter's lamp, but is shiny and new. Its spout is only decorative, unlike Alexander's lamp, and is plugged with brass. One of the lamps is made of blue-colored glass and has a tall, thin neck and a cork-like cap. One of the lamp seller's lamps has an open oriental style and is made of decorated papered fabric.
And ultimately, I don't think I want any of those.
I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to keep my lamp for now.
As you wish, sir.
Gee, that makes me feel kind of guilty.
Excuse me, peddler, but I've decided I'd like to trade in this old lamp after all.
Well, we all change our minds, I suppose. Choose your lamp, son.
Alright. I'll just take the one that looks like the old one.
Ah, a fine choice, my son. Here is your new lamp. Good day, and I thank you, sir.
Good day.
Yeah, I know, you're looking for a genie, didn't find one. So now we've traded in our old lamp, and we've got this brand new Who's that?
The villagers bustle about their chores. They seem a busy, if somewhat subdued lot. The woman seems preoccupied with her chores and doesn't notice Alexander.
What woman? That guy has a mustache. Anyway, so we got this new lamp. So let's go ahead and... where's my lamp? I don't have a lamp. I also don't have a white rose. Where'd that come from?
Alexander has traded for a new lamp similar to the hunter's lamp. However, this one's spout is not hollow, but is made from a piece of solid metal.
Yeah, that's another of these weird visual glitches if you refuse the lamp seller the first time.
The make rain spell calls for a teapot. That lamp has a lid and handle, but its spout is plugged. It's not quite enough like a teapot.
Well, then let's try a different lamp.
The make rain spell calls for a teapot. That would never pass for a teapot.
Well, neither would you. Yeah. One more try. This is that one that looks kind of like a sugar bowl.
The make rain spell calls for a teapot. That lamp may have two handles, but it has no spout or lid. It's nothing like a teapot.
Nothing like a teapot. Alright, so here we are at the Druid's Make Rain ceremony.
And the cage is swung out over the bonfire.
This changes just a little bit if you haven't got Casima's ribbon.
Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage! Alexander pulls out Beauty's old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. As he does so, a strand of Beauty's hair that had been caught in the metal comes free of the clothes. The flame is extinguished.
So that's
but the
another
clothes
place where you can get
themselves
some
burn to cinders.
maiden's
Alexander
hair.
won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long.
There's another way to get that without having to go all the way to the ritual. Check it out.
Beauty's old clothes are very ragged and heavy. They consist of a long, thick dress and a headpiece which covers the hair and most of the face. A long strand of Beauty's blonde hair is caught in the mantle.
We can just take it out.
Alexander searches through Beauty's clothes and finds a long strand of blonde hair. Alexander has a single strand of Beauty's golden hair.
And that works in the spell the same way that Casima's hair does. Alright, back at the swamp, let's try throwing rotten tomato at the stick in the mud ourselves.
Perhaps I can help you out by throwing a rotten tomato at stick in the mud for you.
Really? I appreciate the gesture, but the swamp is broader than it looks. Only a native like myself would be able to hit him from here.
Alexander decides to throw rotten tomato at stick in the mud himself.
Help! Help! I'm melting!
Uh-oh.
Gee, great arm you got there.
Yeah, great arm. You said it, Stick.
Gee, Bump, did we just agree on something?
Why, you're right, Stick. We did.
Gee, you know, he's even more worthless than you are, Bump. I'm sorry I'm so mean to you sometimes.
You mean it, brother?
Brother.
Stick in the mud and Bump on a log, having reconciled at Alexander's expense, fall into a lazy sleep. Unfortunately, Alexander never did get his ooze.
Oh well, let's move on. So here I am in the castle,
Alexander
without having
decides
talked to
find
Jalo
out what's
previously
on the
about
other
the genie's
side of
lamp.
that door.
The conversation changes a little. I left the whole thing in for context.
Prince Alexander! I can't believe it! How did you get into the castle?
Well, Actually, it's a little hard to explain.
I bet. You run a terrible risk of being here, though. The castle is crawling with guard dogs, especially today. The Wazir will have your hide if he finds you.
I know that, Jallo. But Cassima is being married today. What greater risk is there than that?
Of course you're right. Young love. I forgot what heartburn it is. But what are you supposed to do about it?
I've got to try to see her. Maybe even stop the wedding.
Is that all? And here I thought you would try something dangerous. Oh.
Don't worry about me, friend. Just tell me, where is Cassima?
As far as I know, she's still in her bedroom upstairs. You'd never make it up there, though. The guard dogs are everywhere, and they're very loyal to the crown. Unfortunately, right now the crown means Al-Hazred. If we had proof of something truly afoul, the guard dogs might listen. As it is, they're your enemies, not his.
I understand. I've had no lack of enemies since I got here. In fact, you'd almost think I wasn't welcome.
There's probably a good reason why so many wish to harm you. I believe the Wazir's genie has learned of your presence on the islands.
Tell me about this genie.
Al-Hazred brought the genie with him when he came to this kingdom. It is seldom the genie will take human life himself. Usually he is more of a trickster and a spy. But that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. In fact, he is quite powerful. If, for example, we could get the genie's lamp, then you could master the genie. Al-Hazred and all our other problems would be solved.
Is that merely wishful thinking? Or do you have something in mind?
Well, I admit I have often daydreamed about owning that lamp. My fingers are nimble enough, and I could probably find a chance to steal it. Unfortunately, the theft would be detected immediately, and I happen to prefer my neck attached to my body.
If the theft were detected.
Exactly. So, I have also thought if I had a replica of the genie's lamp, an exact replica, I just might be able to... where would we get a replica of the genie's lamp? Dreaming's pleasant, but I'm afraid it won't help to stop the wedding. But for Cassima's sake, well, I wish you luck. I'll be here if you can think of anything I can do to help.
Thanks, Jallo.
Oh, I can think of several things.
Is there anything else you can do that will help me in the castle?
I'm afraid not, Prince Alex. One will get past the guard dogs easier than two. Besides, I'm not much of a fighter. But if you intend to do as you've said, you should lose no time about it. The wedding will be starting before you know it.
Alright then, so let's just, give him the lamp.
I've been thinking about what you said about swapping a replica for the genie's lamp. I got this lamp from the old lamp seller in town. Do you think it will pass?
No, I don't think so. I know what the genie's lamp looks like, and that's not it. It's a new lamp, all right, but there's something wrong with it. I'm afraid I can't make a swap with that lamp.
Well, darn. So let's just poke around his room a little.
This is not the time for napping. Alexander doesn't want to intrude on Jallo's privacy by looking through his trunk. Jallo needs that chair more than Alexander does. The wooden chair by the desk gleams with the patina of heavy use and careful polishing.
And butt sweat.
The wall above Jallo's desk sports a notice of a circus. It seems very old, cozy little fire is ablaze in Jollo's fireplace.
It sounds nice.
And burn a perfectly good hand?
Alright, fine. Let's toss Alhazred's letter in there.
Ah, to consume all our earthly possessions in flame.
What? What?
Alexander can't reach the chandelier. Alexander doesn't want to disturb anything in Jollo's room.
I hear the wedding music starting. So, the land of the dead. Let's lay around these zombies a bit.
The ghoulish, animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape.
Who are you, poor undead creatures? I see. How interesting.
Alexander decides to get closer to the undead creature. A decision that was definitely not one of his best.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Alexander's mother always told him to avoid bad ghouls.
Yeah.
Might I get one of those tickets?
The skeleton with the tickets must not approve of Alexander's less than ghostly looks. He refuses to give him a pass.
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please let me pass.
Tickets only.
The skeleton at the door seems quite determined.
Nice bone structure.
Thanks. Alexander approaches the entrance to the Underworld.
Ticket, please.
Yes.
Alexander approaches
Get
the
cut down.
Ticket.
That's disappointing. I'll fight my way through.
Would this persuade you to let me pass?
Tickets only.
Would you be willing to exchange this for a ticket?
The skeleton must not like the looks of Alexander. He refuses to give him a ticket, even in exchange for something else.
Here's where Frankomatic said you can't fall in the river. I don't know why he said that.
Alexander slips off the path and plunges into the River Styx. As soon as the water touches his skin, Alexander's mind and body go numb. He sinks like a lifeless stone.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Hey, what a fix. Bathing in the River Styx.
So let's have some fun with the boatman.
The journeying spirits seem to be in a trance and don't respond to Alexander.
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please let me ride across the River Styx on the ferry.
Charon apparently has rules as strict as those of the skeletons at the Underworld's entrance. Alexander is not getting on that boat until he gives Charon the appropriate fare.
Well, I'll show him my gauntlet.
I have this gauntlet. Will this get me across the river?
Charon seems unimpressed with the knight's gauntlet. Whatever the gauntlet's purpose, it apparently has nothing to do with the River Styx ferryman.
Oh, well, alright then. I'll just, fight my way past. No. The book.
Will this do as fare for passage?
The boring book is boring.
Though he's not carrying it at the moment, Charon's own scythe is perfectly functional. Alexander can see all he wants to see of Charon without the aid of that mirror.
Oh, fine.
Charon will determine whether and when Alexander will board the boat. Alexander can't push his way past Charon. He'll have to convince the ferryman to let him board.
Alright, on to the deadly killer gate.
Gate is bad enough as it is. Alexander doesn't even want to think about what he might look like in Beast's mirror.
If thou wouldst see death, I can accommodate thee. Only step into my jaws, and death thou shalt meet.
I stepped out of range of him before doing this.
I have this gauntlet.
That has naught to do with me, human.
Alright, I'll just cut you down then.
Alexander has the feeling that hacking at Gate would not be wise.
Alright, fine, moving on.
Excuse me. I have this.
The shrouded guards do not appear to be interested in anything of Alexander's. But now that he's gotten their attention, they escort him to the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
You can also just talk to them.
Why?
And we already know what's
I
happening
did not
here.
come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. Man,
Blah, blah, blah. Get
Either
the spirits
all-
back, you have to make death cry. So let's do that. The boring book.
Alexander's heard the expression, bored to tears, but somehow he doesn't think it would work in Death's case. Alexander doesn't want to involve Cosima in this. He'd just as soon Death not know too much about her.
But you know one other sad story.
The Lord of the Dead is unlikely to be moved by the Mother Ghost's tale of woe.
Oh, what about, I just hurt him a bit.
The Scythe cannot threaten Death himself. That small dagger will hardly stop Death.
Yeah, well,
perhaps a tale of my love?
There is nothing you could say of love that would make me cry, mortal. I have had Cleopatra and Helen of Troy stand before me, and they move me not. Your common desires mean nothing to me.
well, there's gotta be something I can do. Oh, the rabbit's foot.
Luck won't help Alexander now.
How about I don't know.
I have this, my lord.
That does not provoke my tears, mortal. Your time, like your life, has just run out, man of flesh. You have failed the challenge, and now you must pay the price of your arrogance.
Arrogance.
The Lord of the Dead's touch fills Alexander instantly with a numbing cold and blackness.
And that's a good place to end it. See you guys in the final video.